Okay. Hello, Tim Randall here from Links Magazines, broadcasting from my kitchen table in Tavistock again. And today, at the moment, I'm joined by Stuart Borthwick from Dartmoor Financial. Hello, Stuart.
Hi, Tim. You all right?
Yeah, how are you? All right?
I'm fine, thanks. Yeah, I'm enjoying the quiet in the office upstairs.
A beautiful image of Dartmoor behind you.
Isn't it nice? If I move quick, it messes it up, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Same with here. If you move too much, all the trick photography, or what I used to call it, trick photography, goes away. It's all weird, isn't it? So anyway, without further ado, let's talk about you and your business and what you're able to offer people at the moment. So I know we're going to talk about mortgages and equity release and things like that. So just take us through what your company has to offer people right now.
Yeah, sure. So we as a firm, we're a parent or husband and wife team. Leanne does our regular mortgages as standard practice. She has lots of experience in doing that and very little spare time to do anything on top of that. So I started specialising in equity release, which is something that she is unable to qualify for because she's so busy with normal, regular mortgages, which made a lot of sense. So we're delighted at the moment because, especially since yesterday, it's looking like, although in practice, how are they doing it? But at the moment, valuers look like they're going to be coming back out and starting to just get on with their more physical valuations. But we have been fortunate in the last couple of weeks where things like the equity release surveyors have, and the companies, to be fair, they've all modernised quite a lot, where they were quite old-fashioned in the sense of everything had to be face-to-face, everything had to, even the legal work needed to be witnessed by a solicitor. Now it's all a lot more modern in the sense that it doesn't have to be necessarily witnessed by solicitors, and the surveyors are able to do desktop valuations, which is super because people who are still thinking, there might be families out there who are trying to release equity from their house to help their children to survive or to, save, save other people's businesses, or, you can use it for, many purposes. As long as it's a legal purpose, then it's pretty okay. And the news is basically we can still do that, which is great. So as much as we have our kids at home, we are limiting our hours on, work-life balance wise. Kids come first.
Yes.
We are working and we are drinking a lot of coffee, but we are still able to do what people need.
Yes. So if I've been sat in my house for the last 6 weeks and looking at my 4 grey walls and thinking, well, I don't have a mortgage, or I have a very low mortgage, and actually my business might need supporting, or my children might need supporting, or I want to take a different perspective on life, I want to slow down and maybe retire or do more, then equity release is a great way of doing that.
Yeah, it certainly may be a great way of doing that. And I think the key thing is to get good advice on it, and to have, I think that's where our strength lay, because I would rather lose a client than have a poorly advised client. Yeah. So it's really key to get in touch with one. And I did say to you before, we're fortunate in Tavistock. We've got lots of good advisors who are independent, and you can speak to them about, is it the right thing for you? One thing we're having lots of interest in at the moment is for the people who have maybe been furloughed. But say you're an older person. No offense, what's older person mean these days? Say you're in that WASPy category where you were meant to be retiring at 60, but now you've got to go on. And we've got people who are sitting at home and they've been furloughed, or they've got some reason where they haven't been able to work their standard job at Tesco or something like that. And they're thinking, actually, this retirement lark's quite good. Why am I still going into my 16 hours a week at the supermarket when I could actually release a small amount of money now from my home, pay the interest on it, and retire? And I think people are taking a lot of stock at the moment to, what is this the rest of our lives? Does it look like this now? Or do we make that change? Do we buy the caravan that we always wanted? Do we get the motorhome? Do we make, is your capital good in your house? Or do you want to help your kids right now? Or do you want to do something else? And I'm just really keen to speak to anyone about that kind of question. Because interest rates aren't nearly as high as people think. It's not nearly as scary as people assume. and you really just don't know the full extent of it until you speak to one of our, not just us, but one of the advisors who deal with it all the time.
Yes.
But yeah, it's changing lives.
That could be literally a game changer, a life-changing sort of decision, isn't it, really?
Yeah. One of the best.
If there's equity in your house, it's available to everybody, isn't it?
Yeah, as long as the young, if they're a couple, as long as the youngest person is over the age of 55, the house has got to be, or the apartment has got to be worth a minimum of 70 grand. Then the smallest loan amount you can get is £10,000, and you're looking at a fixed interest rate for life between 2.5% and 3% normally for that. Which, I mean, I've pre-done the figures just in case. But I've had a client in the past who really close to retirement, really wanted to retire. The thought of going into work just absolutely just almost made them queasy. And £20,000 advance, 3% fixed for life is £600 a year interest, 50 quid a month. And if you've got a pension and you can give yourself 10 grand a year as a salary from that equity release to help you retire early and enjoy the time you've got together, then it's got to be worth considering. Doesn't mean you've got to do it, but it's worth looking at. Even if you then say no, at least you've looked,
Yes. Okay, so that's equity release. We're hearing now that estate agents are being asked to go back.
Over the moon.
It's funny enough, actually, I've registered with the government's website to be alerted every time they change a policy. So my inbox at the moment is absolutely covered in government emails. And I've been reading some of them, and they're starting now to get into the detail by sector as to who can work and who can't work, etc., and that kind of stuff. But there is a move to get the housing market going, isn't there? Estate agents, how they go and do valuations and how they go and see people and show people around homes. I think all that nitty gritty, that detail has started to be looked at now. To see that happens. And of course, that's a good thing. So your wife is more the mortgage, Leanne is more the mortgage area of the business. Yeah. So is that an area you see is actually growing over the next few weeks, months, etc.?
I think people are going to be keen if they haven't been moved. I think you're going to see quite it's going to be a tricky one, isn't it? Because you've got, people are going to want to get on with moving now, but also we need to be, as brokers, we need to be 100% sure that people can afford the mortgage. So it's all very well proving people's income. If you've got a builder and you're proving their income using their last 3 years' books, that's all very much historical, isn't it? What does that look like going forward? So yes, people will be able to move, no problem. We have to declare whether we've looked at whether they can afford their mortgage in the future, and we're saying yes, that's probably going to be something they can do. But yeah, I mean, the mortgage industry, the standard mortgages, less about lifetime and equity release, is more modern anyway. So there's a lot more desktop surveys and a lot more standard valuations that are available. It's much more slick and quick. My stuff's still very much paper a lot of the time. But yeah, I mean, I am sure estate agents will be over the moon, the fact that they can go ahead. But I think as well, we have to be cautious. I would like to see people's, particularly first-time buyers, I'd like to see them using the time currently to assess, get their documents ready, arrange them, or get a decision in principle, be absolutely ready, so that when we can all do this safely and we've got a bit more stability, we're able to, do you know what I mean? So they're really able to know that what they can borrow, what they can do, and then they can go straight ahead and do it, knowing that in the future they should be okay as well. But yeah, I'm loving seeing, and I love seeing the way some of the estate agents are doing like virtual valuations, and it's great to see, because actually, what's wrong with ringing a client on a video call and asking them to walk around your house? Yes. And why can't they walk around their own property? And why have you got to get in the car? Why have we got to drive all those places to do what? And I appreciate there's more stuff that they probably do, but it does give you a chance to reflect on your processes and say, well, what can we do that's slicker and better than it was?
Good stuff. Right. So if we wanted to take advantage of anything that you've told us today, then how do we get hold of you? What are the numbers? What's the website?
Yeah. So we are, and I do always go on about this, but we are a family first kind of. Definitely, we're always going. We've got 6-year-old twins. We are definitely a family first business. Without doubt, the best way to get hold of us right now is by email, because we will always see it. You can ring us. It's 01822 615 502, but we may not answer. If you email us or Facebook or any of that, we will always get to
Well,
contact.
tell us your email address then, Stuart.
Yeah, so the email address is, if you want to just come to me directly, it's stuart@dartmoorfinancial.co.uk. That's STUART. Leanne is Leanne, LEANNE @dartmoorfinancial.co.uk, or you can just go straight into advice@dartmoorfinancial.co.uk.
All right.
And we'll pick it up eventually. I say eventually because I don't have access to that, because Leanne's in charge, so she will send it to me. And I'm all right. That's totally how things work around here, and I'm good with that. So if they want to,
you're on Facebook as well.
Facebook is my domain, yeah. So if someone messages us on Facebook, then I'll pick that up quicker. But yeah, it's we're keen to help as many people as we can, even if it's just find out, is this something that's right for me? Yeah. Is this something we can do? We do have I keep trying to promote, and I've linked up with Drake Walls Marketing recently. And we're doing, so that's part of what I've done while I've been off, not off, but not as traveling, if you like,
yes,
is look at ways we can get better at promoting our services, because we get good feedback from a lot of customers. But I know that what we're not very great at is being aware, that like people aren't aware that we exist. So, you know, they may get contact from other people. This is Leanne, she's my wife, and she brought my lunch. How nice.
That's it. Keep it live. Keep it real.
Yeah, look, it's just under the rock. Bless her. So she was on the phone. Bless her. Where was I, Tim?
Oh, that's okay. So tell us your website address.
Yeah, it's www.dartmoorfinancial.co.uk.
All right. So we've got your telephone number. We've got your email address. We've got your website. You're on Facebook. Presumably, we just look for you as Dartmoor Financial.
Yeah, we're on LinkedIn as well, but
okay, LinkedIn.
I find LinkedIn a bit boring.
All right, brilliant. Well, look, I think that's enough for now. Thank you, Stuart. It's lovely to see you.
Yeah, you too. I can't wait to play guitar. We need to do that.
Like the haircut. Just stay there for a second, Stuart, and I'll just say goodbye to anybody who's watching this. Hello and goodbye. Thank you very much, Tim Randall, Links Magazines. We'll have some more interviews coming your way shortly. There's a whole load of interviews from different businesses and community groups that are sitting on our website, which is dartmoorlinks.co.uk, dartmoorlinks.co.uk. And we will see you soon for the next one. Thank you very much for joining us. Bye-bye now.